All right, today I thought I'd go through my some of my dailies on here on Pinnacle of Combat. So this is basically a daily mission you can do where you have to fill up a bar, and the more enemies you beat, the higher the bar gets, and you will get one of two bosses. You'll get either Cerberus or Pluto. Um, if you fill up the bar completely, it seems like you get Pluto every time, and I've actually been able to do that pretty much every time. So I spent some cash on the game. I actually am able to use the cash shop as a foreigner, so I spent a bit to power up my Dante. I have not had any luck getting Virgil, but I don't think anybody has really. In this mode, you actually want to stay on the ground as much as you can because enemies are going to keep spawning in. You want to try to hit them with collateral damage. Almost got the bar filled up. There we go. So once you fill out the bar all the way, the battle just ends. So you really do want to prioritize just keeping things on the ground. Oh, it's Cerberus today. Never mind. The original gatekeeper of DMC3. Everybody got humbled playing this for the first time. Cerberus goes down a lot faster than Pluto. Alright, so that's a full clear. Should be S rank if there's no rank here. You get a lot of crafting materials. These are really good to get because these allow you to select the best crafting materials. You will need these to upgrade weapons, so you definitely want to do this at least once a day. If you have your monthly or weekly card, that will give you enough crystals to basically do it twice a day, which you may or may not want to do. Right now, everybody's trying to get Virgil and legendary weapons and stuff. Um, I don't know if I've explained legendary weapons before, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's go to the loot boxes. So there's some pretty crappy things about this game's monetization, and I'm going to go into those right now. They did announce quietly that there is going to be a global version of this, and to make things better, it's not going to be just English either. They plan to translate it to other languages. They haven't said exactly what languages. I assume common ones like Brazilian, Portuguese, and Spanish, and French and stuff like that. But they haven't announced which languages. But all of our friends who also are hardcore into DMC but don't really speak native English, you guys are going to be able to play this eventually. But for now, this is what we've got. So this is a legendary rebellion. I guess it's just called sword in this game. So that basically gives you a new move. So legendaries have unique affixes on them. They have like different things that they buff and whatnot. It's kind of like if you played like PSO2, how like the weapons had potentials and stuff when you unlock them. That's pretty much how it works here. But you also get a new move, and what's nice is the move is unlocked even if you don't use the weapon. The move is permanently unlocked. So say if I went ahead and got this right now, I would be able to use that move without actually having the weapon equipped. Because right now, I actually got one of the legendary swords from the pity. You only get pity once, but I managed to get it one time. So right now, I need to save up some silver coins and then a bunch of these crafting materials. So if I do the risk trial every day, I'm going to get one of these materials guaranteed. So let's go ahead and show the process for that. You go ahead and go in your inventory. You go here. This one's a lot harder to come by, so I'm going to grab that one. So if you get the best rank, which means you actually fill up the bar and then beat the boss, you will get this every day. So there's not really any RNG. It actually feels quite good. You are rewarded to play this every day. There is no fatigue system in the game, but you're going to run out of things to do regardless. If you're hardcore and you play through the Bloody Palace in like one sitting and then do your dailies, you probably would only be on here maybe a couple minutes a day. There's no like skip tickets or anything, but this game's so fun to play. I don't really think you need it. They definitely have balanced it in a way where they're not really expecting you to be on for really long periods of time every day, which is nice. Some of us play multiple service games. Some of us don't have that much time. Pretty much the major time sink is going to be simply just finishing the story. Once you finish the story, you will unlock Son of Sparta difficulty, which is, if you played any normal DMC game, it's pretty much the same thing. They have to play through the campaign again. You get some one-time rewards, and then past that, you get a lot less rewards. So if you want to work on your character, it definitely is worth coming in here. You're going to get about 50,000 orbs each time. Now, before you used to be able to skip this, but it doesn't seem like you can do that anymore. All the cutscenes are here too. I'll have to upload these at some point. I'll try to get around to that in case someone else hasn't done it. The campaign in this is probably the worst part. It's very awkwardly paced. This game takes a lot of inspiration from 5, even down to some of the assets. Obviously, this is an officially sanctioned Capcom game, so it's not like it's a knockoff or anything, but they didn't really take a lot of inspiration from how 5's campaign was designed. In that game, there were no puzzles at all. It was basically just like an arcade beat 'em up. The worst things you had to deal with was like playing as V for one thing, and just some of the bosses weren't fun. Nidhogg and Gilgamesh in particular weren't really fun to fight. Here, there's a lot of puzzles and unskippable cutscenes and stuff. It definitely isn't that fun to play, but they give you so many modes where you can just play uninterrupted that I don't really consider it to be much of an issue. Really, the only thing you're going to get out of here is just some orbs to deck out your character. Like, I actually, he's pretty close to maxed out. I've got both Rebellion and Agni and Ruja are completely maxed out. And I got everything in here but the taunts. I don't know if taunts actually give you meter or not. That's just getting more orbs. I don't think you really need that in this game. Most of your orbs are going to come from just doing dailies anyway. I've got about half of the attack power. I've got about half of the health. Mana gauge about half. So yeah, he's about halfway maxed. So at this point, I'm going to try to get him more stats and then level up this weapon here. Actually, I can max this out, huh? There we go, level 10. So now it's got 415 attack, which is way more than I had before. I don't have the cash right now, but if I did, I would probably just cash and try to get that done. So now for the bad part. Let's go ahead and go over this really quick. So there's a Virgil event, but you need these source rocks. These are like your pity equivalent, but they're a random drop. You don't get them like every time like you did in KOF All-Star. So a lot of people are really complaining about how expensive it is. They said that they were going to fix the cash shop. In some ways, they made it better. In other ways, they made it a lot worse. You can't buy legendaries anymore. The legendaries were like $5, which I think is a fair price for a new moveset. But Virgil himself, he probably would have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to get him, like cut into your your retirement fund or something to get him. I've been trying to get Virgil, and I just haven't had any luck with it. I think it's very poorly balanced. I feel like you should get the Source Rocks, which is the pity material here. You can see I have 9 of them, and it's 50 just to unlock him. And then for his legendaries, it's another 50. So you would need a total of 150 to get everything, and most of the time you just get nothing from the pulls at all. It's just complete junk. I'm sure they're getting a lot of complaints about it. This doesn't bother me as much as the fact that you can't buy the legendaries, because the legendaries in this game are not just stat sticks. They are stat sticks, yes, but they also come with brand new moves, and you can use those moves with any other weapon in that category, which means you're missing out on a huge chunk of the move set, and you have no way of getting it without just bending over and taking it from RNG, which I think is really unfair. But these guys have been very receptive to feedback. I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting a lot of angry complaints from their native players. It will probably be fixed in due time. I will keep making another couple attempts to get him, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen at this point, so I'm just going to be focusing on Dante. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys get a little bit more of an idea of how the endgame works, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.